In today's class, we'll learn about dicot embryogenesis. So first the terms comes here is meroblastic and endoscopic. In the sense, both monocot and dicot in the early development of embryo will undergo the meroblastic growth as well as the endoscopic growth. Meroblastic is in the sense due only half of the zygote will form the embryo. That is what is the definition, that is meroblastic. Early development in both, in this is in case of both monocots and dicot. So during the early development, both of the monocot and dicot, they will develop only half of the embryo zygote will form the embryo. This term we are calling it as meroblastic. Then what about endoscopic? Endoscopic is nothing but whatever the development is going on, that growth of the zygote will towards the chalazal end. Endo, inner, okay. Growth of zygote, or direct will write here, growth towards chalazal end. Chalazal end, in other terms you can say that the growth is growing, or the growth of the zygote is towards the inner side of the embryo sac. Now this type of growth that is in early development we can see in case of both monocots and dicots. Let us see how the dicot or the dicot embryogenesis is going to take place. If you remember, in the last class we have dealt that the zygote is formed from the syngamy, that is fertilization of one female gamete and one male gamete. That is what is forming the zygote. Now the zygote, further development, it forms into an embryo. Now the stages here are, the zygote, first it will undergo transverse division. Right here, the zygote undergoes transverse unequal division. Transverse division, and that too the division will be unequal. Endoscopic, that means the zygote transverse division right here like this, and that too it is unequal. The micropylar end will be large compared to the chalazal end, and from the chalazal end itself again the further divisions will takes place. Right, now what we are calling to that one, this is the chalazal end, this is the micropylar end. Clear? So we call that the upper part which is towards the chalaza, we are calling it as terminal cell or embryonal cell. This is, we are calling it as terminal or embryonal cell, because this cell only will give rise to the embryo. Right, and the down or the basal part which is larger than compared to the chalaza, we are calling it as suspensor cell or the basal cell. I hope this is clear till here. Now further division will take place. Now where the further divisions are going to take place, here in case of micropylar and that is in the suspensor cell, the transfer division will take place. But in case of embryonal cell, that one vertical division will take place. Now you can see that I have drawn, like from here, as I told, the first division is transverse. Now the second division again is going to take place. The rest all, the transverse division continuously they will go in case of basal cells, that is in the suspensor cells, right? But now in case of terminal or embryonal cell, vertical division will takes place. That is, this is the first transverse and then now vertical division. That too where vertical division in case of embryonal cell, upper part, terminal part only, right? See, after the first vertical division, the embryo will look like this, and the rest all the suspensor cell will undergo transverse division and will form at least 6 to 8 suspensors, or we can say 6 to 8 cells here. 6 to 8 cells which we are calling it as suspensors. 6 to 8 celled suspensor cell will be formed, and the last one which is at the base, we are calling it as the first cell of the suspensor or haustorial cell. This one is called as first cell of suspensor. Look at here, after the first vertical division, the zygote will undergo and 2 divisions vertically, and hence this stage we are calling it as 2-celled embryo stage, right? 2-celled embryo stage. Whereas in case of the basal cells, that is in the suspensor cells, it will undergo the transverse division and will form at least nearly 6 to 8 celled suspensors, right? Wherein the first cell here, the top basal cell of the suspensor, we are calling it as haustorial cell, and the last one, and in between you can find that there are continuously 6 to 8 small suspensor cells are formed because of the transverse division. And vertical division is going to take place only in the embryo, not in the basal cell. Clear? Right. Now the one cell which is attached with the embryo, or the last cell of suspensor, this one, we are calling it as, I'll extend here, I'll write here, last cell of suspensor, or the other term which is given as, okay, the other term which is given as hypophysis. Hypophysis. I hope it is clear. 2-celled stage, thus embryo will again undergo the second vertical division. मतलब यहाँ पर ही आपको division होगा. Where? In the embryo only, the second vertical division. Now I'll go reverse here. Like how? Now I'll go here. The second vertical division. Now the second vertical division is going to take place where? Only in the embryo. That is this region. Not in the suspensor cells. The suspensor cells will remain as such. Okay, the second vertical division. Now once the second vertical division is formed, the embryo will look like this. Forming the 4 cells. The rest all the basal cells, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the haustorial cell, that is the basal. These are all the suspensor cells, where this is the first cell, this is the last cell. Clear? All this. But here you can see, and at this stage we are calling it as 4-celled embryo stage. 4-celled embryo stage. Now you can see that I told that this is a vertical division, but looking like as it is a transverse division. If you are taking an apple, okay, first vertical division you are going to do like this. Second vertical division you are going to do like this. This is the top view of the apple, if you suppose. First vertical division, second vertical division. Clear? After the 4-celled embryo is formed, the later division will go ahead with the transverse division. Okay, transverse division. That means after undergoing 2 vertical divisions, the embryo now will undergo transverse division. Okay, horizontal or transverse division, and it will form into an octant stage like this. How many cells will be formed? Totally 8 cells will be formed, and this stage we are calling it as octant stage. Octant celled stage. But here in the micropylar end, you will find the cells as such 6 to 8, and then haustorial cell is also seen here. This stage we are calling it as 8-celled stage or octant stage. 8-celled stage or octant stage. Okay, I hope this is clear. अब इसमें देखिए like what is happening in the 8-celled stage or octant stage. Like whatever the portion that is upper part, we are calling it as epibasal. इतना, this one, calling it as epibasal, which will be responsible to form the plumule. So what does epibasal is forming? It form and give rise to plumule. Okay, plumule later on will form into a shoot system. Right? Now this one, the basal part, जितना नीचे का part है, right? The basal part of the octant stage embryo, this one, ये तो epibasal हो गया ऊपर का. The down one, we are calling it as hypobasal. Hypobasal part of the embryo, down. Okay, and that part will later forms into radicle, which will give rise to the root system, right? To form an ecton stage, now let us clear that to form to this stage, to form at this stage, reach the embryo at the 8 cell stage or the octant stage, totally it needs 2 vertical divisions and 1 transverse divisions. So how many? To form octant embryo stage, how many divisions we are required? 2 vertical divisions and 1 transverse division. Clear? 2 vertical division and 1 transverse division is required for the dicot embryo to reach an octant stage. Okay, 8 cell stage में पहुंचने के लिए how many divisions we are required? 2 vertical and 1 transverse. After the vertical divisions, after the octant stage is reached, the continuous divisions will go on and will form and will reach a stage which is called as globular stage. The rest is hypophysis and the micropylar and the basal part will remain the same. So here if you see, continuous layers are formed in the embryo, and what we are calling to this layer, first one we are calling it as, first layer, outer part, we are calling it as protoderm. This protoderm will later give rise into epidermis, and the second region we are calling it as peribellum, and the last and the innermost we are calling it as plerome. Okay, all ildas, like if I say in the simple terms, this is the outermost region, epidermis, peribellum, inner to epidermis, that is ground tissue like cortex, and plerome is the innermost which is present here, and we can give rise to the vascular bundles, like suppose in that one that these are also forming the different layers here, that right. Now these are the different divisions. After reaching to the globular stage, it will go further divisions and will form into a different shape called as heart shape or early heart shape embryo. Now see, the divisions are going on to take place only in the embryonal stage, but you can see that the basal stage is remaining the same. Slowly it will degenerate. कौन सा वाला degenerate होगा? The basal region, right? Which one? Suspensor cell that is present in the micropylar one will degenerate. Now this stage where it is reaching, we are calling it as early heart stage. Clear? Once it is reaching the early heart stage, it will further undergo divisions in the embryo and will form, okay, and will form late heart stage like this. That means there will be a deep cut in the apex of the embryo, forming 2 cotyledons. Now those 2 later one are forming the cotyledons here. Now you can see that the micropylar end started disintegrating or degenerating, right? Now this is the apex here. Okay, now this stage is called as late heart stage or torpedo stage or horseshoe stage. Torpedo stage, because this stage is looking like as if the embryo has developed into a horseshoe. I hope you all know about the horseshoe magnet. The same shape is formed here after the continuous development, right? Now the last one, that is after this stage, further continuous division will give rise to the dicot stage, last one, where it will form dicot in the sense 2 cotyledons will be there, right? Here. Clear? Now here you can see that the embryo is forming the 2 cotyledons. These are the 2 cotyledons, right? And this part which is inner one is nothing but the plumule. This is the plumule. Now where will be the radicle here? Radicle will be at the base, that is here. And what about the suspensor cells? They got degenerated. Now this stage we are calling it as dicot stage. Dicot stage, right? Now in the exam it will be asked that list the stages of dicot embryogenesis. So what will be the stages? You can start from the 2-celled stage, then next will come 4-celled stage, then octant stage, globular stage. Now this one I didn't write here. This is the globular stage. After globular stage, it is the early heart stage. Then later on, late heart stage or the torpedo stage or horseshoe stage, right? Then the last stage after the continuous division is nothing but the dicot stage, where you can clearly see in the two cotyledons here. And also the inner one, which is giving rise to plumule, and the later is down suspensor, near the suspensor, that is radical. And you can see also that all the suspensor cells are getting degenerated slowly, right? With this, now we can say how we are going to see in case of ovule. In the ovule, let us see how it looks in the ovule. The total ovary in which you can find the ovule. Inside the ovule, the blue color lining which I have drawn here is the embryo sac. Inside the embryo, you find the dicot embryo, and this is the micropylar end where the basal cells got degenerated. If you are seeing, this is the ovule. Now after the post-fertilization, that is after the fertilization, the ovule will change into seed. Total ovule will change into seed. Here is the embryo sac, and this is the dicot embryo. Dicot embryo, right? And what about the ovary wall? This is the ovary wall. Okay, ovary wall will change into fruit wall, because ovary, total ovary, this will change into fruit wall, right? Next, these are the integuments of the ovule, and these integuments, as the ovule is changing into a seed, then the integuments will change into the seed coat. Here, the integuments will change into, or will develop into seed coat after the fertilization. These are all the post-fertilization changes. Then what about the nucellus, which is present here? Now it will provide the nutrition to the developing embryo, right? If at all it is utilized by the embryo during the embryo, that then there will be no nucellus left. If the nucellus is not totally utilized, then some or the other nucellus will be left over, right? Leftover nucellus, we are calling it as perisperm, right? What we are calling to the leftover nucellus, we are calling it as perisperm. And those seeds wherein you can find the nucellus, leftover nucellus, that seeds we are calling it as perispermic seeds, right? In which the seeds, in some seeds you find that some of the nucellus will be left over, but majority of the cases you can say that the nucellus will be finished during the development because it is utilized by the developing embryo. Clear? Now this is the total scene of dicot embryo. You can see that this is the ovary, right? Inside the ovary you find the ovary wall, ovule, embryo sac. Ovary changes into fruit, ovary wall changes into fruit wall, ovule change into seed, right? Integuments will change into seed coat. Okay, the nucellus, if at all left over, then it's called as perisperm, and whichever the seeds are having the perisperm, we are calling it as perispermic seed. I hope this is clear. Now this is dicot embryo. Monocot embryogenesis. Now here the development in the early stages, as I told, it is nearly the same as compared to the dicot. Now here the zygote, as seen in case of dicot embryo, it also will undergo the transverse division in the first stage and will form the two cells. The upper cell, which we are calling it as embryonal cell, and the second one we are calling it, which is at the base, we are calling it as basal cell or the suspensor cell, right? In dicot we have learned that the second division will be vertical, right? But whereas here in the embryonal cell, again the second division will be transverse in case of embryo and will form the two transverse cells in case of embryonal cell. Now this will give rise to the two different cells. First one is the top cell, second is the middle cell, and the third is the basal cell, that is the suspensor cell, which is not much developed as in case of dicots. Right. The top cell contains, that is, will give rise to plumule and only one cotyledon because this is a monocot. The middle cell will give rise to the radicle in the later stages. Next stage, that is upper region only will go ahead, right? Next stage, then what it is forming here, it is again forming a same like in the dicot, one globular stage and very less developed basal stage. Now let us see directly the diagram here. After the globular stage, totally after the development, you can see that the monocot embryo looks like this, wherein this is the scutellum, which is nothing but called as shield shape cotyledon. One cotyledon only is found in case of monocots. Then what about the other cotyledon? That is reduced cotyledon. Here, this tip, we are calling it as reduced cotyledon, which we are calling it as epiblast. Epiblast. The one which is fully developed shield-shaped cotyledon, we are calling it scutellum. But the one which is reduced here, which is not developed in case of monocots, reduced cotyledon, that name we are calling it as epiblast. Here is the plumule, which later on will develop into a shoot system. And the covering of the plumule, we are calling it as calyptile. Okay. And here is the radicle. Right, and the covering of the radicle we call it as oleorhiza. Radicle will later on give rise to the root system. This is, and totally, where can you find the embryo then? Total this part from here till here, we call that this is the embryo. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now, inside the endosperm. Now where you find the endosperm here? Now let us see. I just want to delete little bit part here. The scutellum will remain the same, only for the drawing purpose I am showing. This is the covering. Clear? Right? Now this is the endosperm, which is above the scutellum. This is the endosperm. And the layer which is covering the endosperm is nothing but here. That is nothing but the called as a protein rich layer called as aleurone layer. Aleurone layer. Now this layer is nothing but the outermost layer of endosperm and is rich in protein and also contains some plastids called as aleroplastids. So I'll write some points here. Outermost layer of endosperm. Clear? And the second point is proteinaceous or protein rich layer. Then next contains some protein plastids. We are calling those as aleroplastids. Now what will be the ploidy of endosperm? Endosperm is coming from the primary endosperm nucleus. So it will be triploid only. So the ploidy of the endosperm here in case of monocot also, that is triploid. Right? Now this is the complete seed and fruit. Now this diagram which I have shown you, it is nothing but the complete seed and fruit of the monocots. I hope this is clear till here.